Hi, welcome to another edition of Relationship Matters with Modukweka. If you're new on this channel, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome once again. I appreciate your time. Continue to watch. Keep the comments rolling in. Remember to comment and share. Welcome. Today we are discussing another juicy topic. We'll be rounding up our topic on relationship. Today we want to look at tips or checklists before you say I do. Yes, checklists before you say I do. We're discussing this topic as usual because of the comments that came in. A lady sent in an email and she actually asked, she says she's gone through the two videos, dating and different types of relationship, but she's still not sure. She really wants to be very sure. To begin with, let me say, there is no one solution fits all. We are different, and it is with our differences that we complement each other. What happens to you in life does not really matter. It is how you react to what happens to you in life. And if that is the case, how we solve problems are all different. So bear in mind, there is no one solution fits all. When we are dealing with things of the heart, we have to learn to listen to ourselves. So as we look at those tips, I am not saying it is written in marble. These are tips that will help us. So let's sit back, reason together, and look at these few tips or checklists before you say I do. The first and the most important question you need to ask yourself, is the love unconditional? Are you unconditionally accepting your partner, or deep down you are loving that person with reservation? You think if this was in place or that was in place, it would have been very ideal. Are you hoping that, okay, after we marry, certain things will fall in place, then I will be happier than now? Are you basing your love or acceptance on assumptions? Are there things that you are supposed to talk about that you have not spoken about? When any of this is present, then you are not loving unconditional. Unconditional love means that you have accepted that person the way they are. You are comfortable with that person's character, the way they look, the way they do things, everything that is about that person. As they are, you are accepting it. No wonder during solemnization of marriage, it is often asked. The priest knows that you know this person, you brought yourself before the priest, then the priest will now ask you, do you, Modukweola, take this man, note his word, take this man as your lawful wedded husband? The word this man encompasses that, do you accept this man? And then it goes on to say for better, for worse, in sickness. And so it is all encompassing that you take this man, whether he is blind or he can see. Are you taking him? Whether he is rich or poor, this man. It means that, do you take this man with everything that makes him up, with his good and the bad points? Unconditional love. Are you accepting that? You are the only one that can answer that question. Please search inside yourself. Unconditional acceptance of your partner is key before you say I do. Secondly, before you say I do, have you had open and honest conversation? Open and honest conversation. Sharing emotions is not easy for everybody. Some people don't know how to share their emotions. However, before you sharing emotion is not easy for everybody. However, before you tie the knot, it is important that you sit down and share your emotions. You share with that person without necessarily feeling embarrassed or intimidated. Remember, we talked about our safe spots, that having our secure and safe place where we can both feel vulnerable before each other. There was a lady that came for counseling, and after the counseling session, she said she wanted to talk to me, and I was asking her, okay, let's have our conversation. She insisted she wanted to talk to me alone, and when we sat down, she started telling me about how this man always complain, you don't know how to do this, you are not sitting properly, that she feels intimidated anytime that they are together. She cannot be herself. And I knew that there was something wrong. So I told her that we have to discuss this. Otherwise, you can't go into a relationship, a lifelong relationship, when you can't ordinarily even feel free to do what you like. So when more important things come up, how are you going to talk about it? It is important to have sincere and open conversation. Sincere and open conversation will make you know whether you actually accept each other for who you are. It is important that you must be comfortable in the presence of your partner without necessarily feeling intimidated. Number 3, is the foundation secure? Building a secure foundation can help you to build a long-lasting trust between each other. You have to feel secure in yourself and then feel secure with each other before trust can be established. It is very important that you build on secure and trustworthy relationship. Do you feel secure with that person? Do you have an amount of security that makes you comfortable with your partner? It is important. We should feel secure with each other. And if you don't feel secure with each other, trust will be affected, because you cannot trust who you don't feel secure with. So, security at the foundation of your marriage is very important. Think about it. Number 4, remember, happiness is an inside job. Yes, happiness is an inside job. Are you getting married because you think your partner is going to make you happy? Or you think that once you are now Mrs. or once you have this woman by your side, you will be happy? No. Remember, happiness is an inside job. Remember what we talked about, codependent relationship. You need to be happy by yourself. You need to be happy with yourself. Happiness comes from within. Once it is external things that make you happy, you're going to be frustrated. Remember, the best type of relationship that we talked about is interdependent relationship, where the both of you are secured in yourself. You're a secure person, you're getting married to a secure person, and then the both of you come together as a team, and then you become a formidable team. A team that nothing is going to shake. So remember, happiness is an internal job. You are not looking forward that, oh, it is my husband that will make me happy. It is my wife that will make me happy. It never works like that. You need to know that your happiness, you are in charge of your happiness. So make sure that within yourself, you are a happy person, not that you are looking for another person to be in charge of your happiness. Once you and your partner realize that you are both individuals, simply joining together to form a team that will navigate life together, then it means that you are ready to tie the knots. Another important skill that you must have before you say I do is conflict resolution skills. How do you resolve your conflicts? You're bound to have arguments now and then. When you have arguments, how do you resolve this skill? Do you leave it until it goes to a large and full-scale conflict? Does your conflict or your argument usually end up in break up and then you come back together? Break up and then you come back together. You need to have conflict resolution skills. This is one of the reasons why understanding personalities is key. When you understand each other's personality, you would always know and respect each other's differences. Taking a personality test and understanding each other's personality cannot be overemphasized. We'll come back to that before we close. These few tips on checklists on before you say I do. Another important point before you say I do is both of you agreeing to unpack emotional baggages. Emotional baggages could be from your childhood, a childhood trauma, or in your teenage years, or even from past relationship. As a relationship expert, I tell you, relationships are fertile ground for old trauma to rear its ugly head and cause havoc. You need to sit down and talk about those traumas, those baggages that you are carrying along so that you don't bring them up into this new relationship. For instance, a childhood trauma may have caused somebody to distrust. I was talking to somebody, a grown-up man, and he told me that he doesn't think he wants to get married. And when we started talking, it was because there were some things he had seen as a child in the parents' relationship that he felt that, well, if marriages are like this, he would not go into it. These are trauma for some people. It could even be that, well, maybe a woman that has been raped. There was another lady that came for counseling, and she says that she's always afraid anytime it's night or the husband is coming closer. And the husband couldn't understand. It was that day for the first time. She told the husband that she was raped when she was 8 years old. And since that time, she had never felt comfortable with being close to a man. Suddenly, she's married. So, what I am saying is that when you have emotional baggages, it is good for you both to sit down and unpack those emotional baggages so that they will not raise their ugly head in your new relationship. Emotional baggages rear its head because it wants to be seen, heard, healed, and integrated back into your psychic. If you've ever been emotionally triggered, you will understand what I'm saying. It is important and very ideal for the both of you to sit down and talk about those emotional baggages so that they will not rear their heads in your marriage and wreak havoc. Finally, I always recommend, don't say I do without taking a personality assessment of each other. This will open you up to the true, authentic self. you would begin to understand yourself better. You understand your partner better. You can even know how helpful it will work for both of you to speak to each other correctly and do things in a correct way. You would understand your partner's perspective, and your partner will understand your own perspective. Remember, opposite attracts. After they attract, there is this common notion that they now attack. So it is going to attack. Don't forget, it is understanding personality that puts you in the position to understand why your partner is behaving the way they behave. Like I always say, the first step is understanding yourself. In summary, marriage can be an amazing thing where you experience wonderful things in this journey of life together. So, when you are considering marriage, it means that you are not taking your life for granted. Marriage is destiny. Don't just go into it anyhow. Until I come your way again, keep watching. Remember to like, comment, and share. See you next time. Bye.